Hey guys, welcome to the video. I know it's been a little while getting this out, and I do apologize. Life's been pretty busy lately. As you can see, that's my little girl. Editing while holding a baby. It's fun. I would highly recommend it. Highly. But I am really excited to bring you this video. I had a lot of fun with Pherian. Talked a lot about the gaming industry, about Destiny in general, about his artwork. Highly recommend checking him out, and with all the others I've been interviewing lately. Be sure to look out. Hopefully this weekend I have a very, very amazing stream coming up. I'm very excited. I'm gathering together some of the best and brightest talents in the community, and I am going to be doing a very special raid along stream with them, so more announcements to come on that a little bit later. Anyway, remember, stay safe out there, guys. Stay chill, and here's the video. Gentlemen, to the amazing interview stream with none other than Pherian himself. How you going, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I am very tired, but, you know, life of the dad of a newborn.
Are we having audio issues?
Are we having audio issues? Are you good?
I can't hear you, man. You're breaking up on me real bad.
How's that now?
Yep. No, I can't hear anything you're saying.
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm so sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Hey, now you're. Hey.
Yeah, it's the fact that I'm using a controller that
Oh.
it messes with it occasionally if it's the connection for the thing isn't good. I don't know why, but
that stinks.
every time I plug it in, Discord goes, "Oh, it's a new input. Would you like to switch to control?" No, I don't want to switch to the controller. It doesn't have a mic.
I gotcha.
Oh, every time, every single time.
So yeah, logged in
thank you
today.
for the follow, ridiculous. Awesome.
Is that Rod?
Rod Ridiculous, yes.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I like him.
Fix up something here, fix up something there.
Got a bunch of umbral engrams.
That works out well. Works out well. Okay, so for anyone who is watching, audio-wise, do let me know. Oh, keep forgetting to turn my music on. Audio-wise, do let me know how everything sounds. I hope I'm coming across clear. I'm not too loud or too soft or echoey or anything like that. Same with Pherian. I hope he is coming across pretty clearly. No echoes or double lots of audio or anything like that. So yeah, let me know, because I can't tell for that myself.
Yeah, me neither.
It's one of those things about streaming they just do not tell you. It's like, oh hey, by the way, audio issues are going to be a thing, and unless you're a tech guy, you're not going to know how to fix them.
It's guesswork, huh?
Yeah, I mean it's been fun, but I would like to have the issues off the stream, but that's not how life works for me.
I just got some Peregrine Greaves.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to charge into people now. I apologize. There's only one way forward.
So, I guess the first question would have to be for yourself.
Yeah.
What class do you main?
I only have one. I don't have enough time in my life to do multiple classes. So I only have the Titan that I've had since D1.
Oh. Oh.
So that's it. That's all I got.
That's been really interesting because I've had both Brian and Ian. Both. Oh, well, Ian has said absolutely Hunter main.
Right.
Brian
yeah,
has played others, but was playing a Hunter on stream. But yeah, interesting.
I only have the Titan. That's it. That's all I got.
I mean, fair enough. I'm barely having enough time to get through all of the season anyway, under the best of circumstances, to try and get all three. Oh no.
Yeah, life doesn't allow that, man. I got, like I said, I got a wife, kids, job, and got to take care of all of that while doing this kind of stuff. So
I mean, hell, even if I had this as my full-time job, I probably still wouldn't have enough time. I mean, I remember very very recently, a streamer that I follow, Obi Katie Cat, who just applied for partner actually, which is awesome. So congrats to her.
good for her. She
Um,
gets it.
but she did the entire. She had not touched anything to do with the Reckoner title at all. And then she did the entire Reckoner title, the grindiest, hardest title to get,
Yeah,
in the space
Jesus.
of about 25 hours. Far out, I felt so
that's
called
nuts.
out. Oh,
Yeah.
I have not done the Reckoner title. I wanted to, I never got round to it, and I'm like, damn, she did the whole thing in like 25 hours straight.
It's like I Lulu.
Oof. I have heard.
She
of it.
does a bunch of stream stuff and like carries and whatnot. I think she has her entire like every the max triumph score. She's done everything, and she's a nurse. So like,
What?
how the heck she played? I don't know how she does it, dude. She's one of the most disciplined people I've ever met in my life. It's
I
amazing.
just, um, what?
Yeah.
What? that doesn't make sense.
I know.
That's not physically possible.
She's incredible.
And she's a nurse on top of that. Oh
Yeah.
my god, that deserves
Yeah.
some kind of medal.
I think I just saw a poor tweet. I think she's got COVID too, which is a shame.
Oh, that's
Really
very
hope
unfortunate.
Everything goes well.
Yeah, no, definitely,
Works
definitely.
hard and plays hard.
Oh well, definitely. Best wishes to her at the moment. I really hope she's able to pull
Absolutely.
through that.
Yeah.
Oh, Be Young 80 Hunters are where it's at. Yeah, man, absolutely.
That's
Hunters
what right.
all the way. We'll rep Hunters all the time. Hunters is Hunters what I've run since D1 beta.
You don't want B Young representing you as a hunter though.
Oh mate, as I've said many a time, and I will admit to this, I am known in many circles as Bottomus Prime, because my plays are so very terrible. They are not good. I am much in need of assistance with things like I don't play trials usually,
Right.
because
Yeah,
I
I hear you.
nah, I'm terrible. I'm terrible. I have a PlayStation 4 Pro. I've got it upgraded with a Samsung 860 QVO SSD. I've got I've got a Razer Raju Ultimate Pro controller, and I've got I tried upgrading my setup to the best it could possibly be on PlayStation. Yeah, no, you've still got to have a lot of skill. I'm still not that great.
It turns out that the equipment's not what makes people better, right?
Oh yeah, like it has certainly helped a little bit when adding it all together, but I mean, the main component is I need to be better myself, and I am most definitely not.
All right. So what's the plan?
All right, well, I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna have a little bit of fun. Probably run some. Yeah, I'll probably run some strikes first, just to get into the go of things.
I got my bounties. We're all good.
Nice. Yeah, I'll jump in. So, Be Young 80, Romulak was here. Romulak. Why does that sound so familiar?
Where are you seeing his chat? I don't see it.
It's on my Twitch chat.
I'm looking at Twitch chat. Huh.
Did you just load into it?
Oh, there it is. Make sure
Yeah,
he's
if-
figuring about his cookie addiction. It's true.
Oh.
I do.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
University was bad. I used to eat entire bags of cookies in one night. But I was also playing soccer like 4 hours a day. So I used to burn off the calories like you wouldn't believe. Oh, we need to go arc. Huh?
Those were the days.
Oh yeah.
I have to work a hell of a lot harder to
Oh yeah,
shift any
no
of this
doubt.
weight now. According to Pherian's kids, B Young is the greatest gamer ever.
Yeah. I've been playing like I've known B Young since we were children,
Oh,
and
right. Since you were
so I
very, very young. Yeah, fair enough.
yeah, so we'd play Xbox or whatever, and they'd ask, "Who you playing with?" And I'm like, Uncle Brian. And what's he doing? I'm like, "Oh, he's killing me," but he's not really, you know. But so I've led them to believe that he is the greatest player in history. He's
Oh, that's amazing.
yeah.
Oh,
He could
he's
probably
got
beat me in Madden or something, you know, one of those games that he actually
mm,
plays, but anything like this.
he's got a lot of hype to live up to then.
Yeah, it does.
Oh. Again, guys, with the audio, I hope everyone's hearing things fine. I hope it's not pitchy or it's not too loud or too soft or anything. But again, do let me know in chat, and I will adjust it accordingly. What is it? University? You mean like last Tuesday?
Yeah, I still eat cookies, but like I don't eat a bag at night anymore. Okay, just jeez, get off my back.
So on a scale of allergic to sugar to Cookie Monster, how bad are you?
I'm extremely plain eater. Okay, so I like just classic types of snacks and stuff. I'm not an elaborate snack person, so chocolate chip cookies are like just top tier to me. You know, there's no reason to mess with perfection. They're good. Just let them be. So that's kind of where I stand. I eat more than I should, and I need to be careful because I'm 40 now, and there's medical issues that probably aren't far away if I keep going like this.
Oh, I feel you on that. I weirdly enough, am only 26, so but I feel like that's probably not too far away myself. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
if I
once you have
continue
kids,
with that,
just a decade's gonna pass, and you're like, wait a second, what just happened?
I feel like I only just left high school like 2 days ago. Oh.
Yep.
Meth. Be young, meth Cookie Monster, right? Fair enough. I feel like that might just be accurate for him. No, mate. You can talk as much as you like. I highly encourage it. I'll always respond as much as I can. That's what this interview is all about. You know, having some fun, just chilling, enjoying ourselves, and yeah, going through, asking questions, getting to know Pherian a little bit more.
That's a shame.
So yeah, go for it. So
Thank
first
you,
question
sir.
from people we have is, have you watched Black Clover?
Wait, Black Clover?
Yeah.
Is that an anime or something?
Yeah, it's an anime.
Then no.
One of the new shonen animes.
No, I have not.
Yeah, well, it's a
I have a not a good history with anime. So like I said, I'm 40 years old, right? So I missed the train when anime really kind of took over here, the whole Pokemon thing. I was already too old, and it never really clicked with me. Now, art style I think is beautiful, right? And I've always tried, but I think my senses are way too westernized. My how I want my stories told, or how I want my protagonist to act to things and stuff, and I have had a lot of trouble enjoying anime, so I never got into it really, which I think is a shame because I know I'm missing out. I know there's great stories and art and stuff there, but I've had the biggest trouble getting into it. I want to say there was something I watched recently that was really good, but it's really like Western animation. It wasn't like full on anime, you know, from Japan.
Avatar?
So my kids, we watched Avatar because it was it came on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
And that I highly respect. It was extremely good, well done. Character development was stellar. Animation was great. So big kudos. It actually deserves all the praise that I've heard about, since I was, for 10 years or whatever.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
that was really good. But there was a oh, you know what it was? It was you ever seen the show Altered Carbon on Netflix?
I haven't. I've been meaning to get around to it, but it's on my incredibly long list of I must watch these things at some point.
Sure. Yeah. So it's a good, in my opinion, it's a good show, and they did an anime tie-in to it, and
All
it's a
right.
computer generated anime. It's not the hand drawn or anything like that, but
Mm.
it's very adult, lots of blood and all that stuff, but really well done. Like I really enjoyed it, and but again, I feel like that's a very it takes its role itself from more the Western aesthetic and not
Yeah.
the traditional Japanese stuff.
Well, I mean that's fair enough. I personally I grew up with I was there for the golden age of Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball and
Right. Yeah.
Digimon were the things that got me into watching these
Sure.
shows. And I mean initially it was, oh cool dude fighting large explosions, great colors,
Of
yada yada yada.
course. Right.
But then looking deeper into them, like I mean, there's many reasons why I love Dragon Ball, but it's one of those series that, on the surface, if you look at it, it's like, oh, it's just a bunch of people, having power ups and fighting with big muscles and stuff on occasion. But there's so much layered history and references, and like the guy who creates it, Akira Toriyama, he's a massive fan of like Western culture and movies. So there's references to things like Terminator and
Right. Right.
and Superman and just everything like that. So I always really enjoy. I could talk
Yeah.
about Dragon Ball like I could talk about Destiny's Law all day, every day for the next 200 years.
Yeah. I had two friends that were really into Dragon Ball. Even though they were my age, and I had one buddy who was Vietnamese, so he was just that was came from his culture in general, because his family still was very Easternized, and then
Yeah.
he had another friend that was just his nature. He was just really into that stuff. So they sit there and they would talk about it all the time, and I'm like, I tried watching it, and the animation, it didn't move. I don't understand. Like, it was a still picture with his mouth, and it irked me. I was like, this isn't
Mm.
aesthetically. It bugged me that the animation wasn't as fluid. But then you look at something like Avatar, and man,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
But see, that's the thing with the
every frame was rendered, and it's great.
it's the thing with the difference that, like, a lot of the time it was like back when it was first created was in the very early 90s. The original manga for it was actually created back in the early 80s.
Yep.
So it's
I do
got
know
a
that.
long history, but even then, over the years, it has changed up its style a little bit, especially with the new series Dragon Ball Super, and then with the new movie that came out, Dragon Ball Super Broly, that actually again did another shift of art style to a more definitely very fluid, but also more kind of traditional style that kind of blended well with modern techniques. So it is a very stunning movie to look at, very objectively. But that's one of the examples I like to pull on when talking about anime's art style over the years, because it's an example of just how that can change even for the one series.
Right.
But anyway, so how do we feel about the DLC being pushed back to November?
I'm personally fine with it. I mean, I'm always gonna subscribe to I'd rather it be done well and not necessarily done because they said they do it at this time. Just get it done, do it right. So
Oh, yeah.
I never get mad at games being pushed back. In fact, it irks me that they try and adhere to some kind of ridiculous schedule when things like this are creative and they're art pieces and they require whatever time they require. It just is what it is,
Yeah.
100% feels.
Mate, I feel exactly the same. That's how it should be. Games should be releasing when they're ready. I mean, I understand like pressures in regards to like financial backing and investors and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
I know there's a business end to it, but
Yeah.
it doesn't change the fact that, I'd rather have the product be right than on time.
Oh,
I
like
guess.
it's a good example I could pull from this is Kingdom Hearts 3. That was a game I was looking forward to for many years, and it
Right.
took a long time to come out, and it got delayed a couple of times. But it was better for having waited, because
Right.
I
Sure.
will always wait for a game to be finished. You know, I
Oh
don't. I
God.
want to enjoy.
Okay. Bye.
Ooh, please tell me you can kill
He yeeted me.
him.
He's immune, so
Oh shit, he is too. Yep.
yeah,
This
until
is.
you get the platform, he's immune.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay,
see if
I
I
got
can.
him.
I can see if I can pull his
I
aggro.
got him now. Come on, dude.
Over here. Over here. Come on. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Did we not get the platform?
There we go.
It is.
There we go. Oh man.
And you know, especially with the whole pandemic thing, like the idea
Hmm.
that they would somehow stick to the same schedule despite not being in offices, not being in the same social structure, not being able to talk face to face and get things done. I know we can do our job like this, but man, to act like there wouldn't be a time issue
Constraint, yeah.
is silly.
Like, see, that's the
So,
thing. Like, it's just you can't expect it's gonna happen the same way it has before in the past. You know, like especially because they're working with less resources. They're working with
yeah,
less less other gaming studios and whatnot. Like what they do with Activision. They just don't have the time they once did, and I respect that. It's gonna take longer. They want to get it out by September, but it's just not physically possible. And considering how huge this expansion is going to be, I'm more than happy to wait. Especially because it gives me a little bit extra time to get stuff done this season. Because I need it.
I mean, it's similar to texting versus talking on the phone, working remotely versus working in an office. So you can get a lot more done and a lot faster by talking on the phone than you can through text. Texting is going to take longer. So
Yeah.
remote working is the same thing. It's going to take longer to remotely work.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you cannot convey the same amount of information in the same amount of time that you would if you were sitting across the desk from each other.
Yeah, exactly. Anime writing peaked with One Punch Man. You're not wrong. One Punch Man was, it is a great series, and it really is a great satirical look on modern anime and just shonen, I guess, anime more specifically. Oh, babe, I'm sorry. I only just saw the message now. Turns out my eldest Amara has accidentally upended a cereal on the floor, and Elsie has thrown up twice in her hair. Well, I'm gonna have to take her out to lunch to make it up to her. Oh, she's an amazing woman. I am so lucky that I have her.
Congratulations, that's great.
Thank you. That's live. Okay, any more? Regards to that one, no. Cool. So, in regards to your artwork, what got you initially started with it? What was there an initial inspiration? Did you just kind of always gear yourself towards that, or
art in general? I've just since I was a child. I mean, since I was 3 or whatever, I would doodle and draw and stuff. My mom still has documents from when I was tiny, but in fact, what's funny is when I turned 40, my wife got all my family and friends to draw something for me as a birthday present, and my mother redrew this.
Apparently, B Young saying Pherian got started in art to fund his cookie addiction.
Would you lay off the cookies, B Young? All right.
Oh, his response is gonna be, well, only if you lay off them first.
If you keep talking, I'm gonna start eating, and then everybody loses. So.
I mean, apart from me, because I think you would probably win. It's like, oh yeah, cool, awesome. I get some cookies.
So, but no. So, when I was small, I used to get my mom to draw Superman or Batman for me, and looking back now, obviously she is not an artist. She would do a scribble with crayons, but to me back then, it was the epitome of what art should be. And what's funny is, like I said, I just turned 40, so my wife got everybody to do something, and my mom drew me a Superman, and it's all. I'm gonna frame it, and I'm gonna put it on the wall because it's the best to me.
That's sweet. That's really sweet.
It was really cool, man.
Oh, B Young saying, the fuck, she didn't ask me to draw anything, I'm going to drink myself to sleep now.
It's because you're no longer our friend. We've been through this. That's a joke. He's actually a friend.
Yeah, oh yeah, I assume. I assume.
No, but so we got all these things, but as far as Destiny goes, Destiny actually got me back into art. So I went through university, and I was there with B Young. He was my first my freshman year roommate, and I went into art in college, which I went to fine art, right, drawing, painting, sculpting, all that junk. Thinking, oh yeah, I'll learn something cool and be able to use this, I don't know, to teach or something. And then a few years into it, I realized I'm not learning anything. I'm just practicing, which is a way of learning, but it's not like it's an education, right?
Yeah.
Because I could have been practicing on my own while learning something else. But I was too far in, and I just decided to go ahead and get my degree in it and start my life like that. So I got really disillusioned with art in general during that time because it was such a waste. It just I basically in my mind wasted 4 years of education when I could have learned something really worthwhile. Gone into history or writing or something like that. And so I pretty much stopped art. Every so often I would draw a Dungeons and Dragons group or, something fun that it was all like little personal projects, just kind of hanging out. But,
again,
I did not do anything.
Pesty said himself, actually. Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, we've talked about this, me and him. Yeah, same thing. So but I really didn't continue art in any formal fashion. And, so got my job as I'm an emergency manager for my local area, and it's not art related in the slightest. Desk job, just kind of hanging out. And I wrote during about 10 years of work. I just wrote books and stuff, and really focused more on that avenue of creation.
B Young did just actually mention that in chat. He said, "We've always loved his." He said, "Restraining orders don't count first, but." We always loved his art. He's the most talented person I've ever met, and he's also a hell of a writer.
Yeah, I try. I do my best, and for the most part, B Young is an actual fantastic human being, just aside from his obsession over my snack. But so I did that for about 10 years. I focused on writing, novels and stuff like that. Had a great time. But then Destiny came out, and the aesthetic I just loved, dude. It really hit home for me. The kind of sci-fi fantasy combination is like perfect. It just really, this guy's in this rock apparently. It really linked into all of my creative focus, and I love drawing the armor and the idea that just because we have all this technology doesn't mean we stop doing things on a personal level, which is, I think, is the coolest thing about this game, is that, we have things like you can do the war mind, right? I mean, in theory, you can let satellites and technology take over for you if you wanted to, but instead, these guys are going out there and, physically punching the bad guys, and I think that that's wonderful. It's so satisfying. And so it really speaks to me. So that's when I just started drawing, and people liked it. They really inspired me to keep drawing, because people were like, dude, again and again. And so I just kept doing it. And now it's been more than 5 years. I mean, I've been playing this game since D1's first day, but I started drawing probably after the first fall expansion, Dark Below or whatever it was, So
yeah. Dark Below, House of Wolves, and then Take King.
Yeah, so that's when I really started drawing, and I don't regret it in the slightest. It's extremely fun. Well, I'll never be able to make a living off of it, which is perfectly fine with me, because it probably would stop being fun if it became real work. But it pays for itself perfectly fine,
I was gonna say, I mean, you may too. I don't know. There's nothing to say that you can't.
Of course, yeah.
Never
Life could, I could get super lucky somehow, right? Absolutely, that could happen. but I'm not putting my chickens in that basket. I have a lot of education in other ways. I can do a lot of other things. So this way, I just really enjoy what I'm doing instead of looking at each and every commission as what's going to put food on my table.
Yeah.
Instead, somebody asks me to draw something, and I do it because I genuinely want to and love to.
Mm.
And if somebody asks me to draw something I don't want to draw, I'm like, nah, it's all right. I'm done. I'm not going to do that. I don't draw that kind of stuff or whatever.
Yeah. Which is
'Cause
good, but you have to do that as an
people
artist.
weird. Yeah.
Oh, it's the internet. I know how weird
Oh,
people
yeah.
can get.
Yeah, it's.
I've seen
people
some
get weird.
people talking about art that they are currently organising at the moment. That's very focused on certain characters. Let's just say.
Yeah. It's strange. In fact, the friends and I that actually play online, every so often they'll find one of those, and they'll post it and be like, "Why? Why? What is wrong with people?" And they expect me to have the answer because I can draw, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do it.
Oh, that's the story of Destiny, isn't it? Yeah, that is the story of Destiny. Pherian is the
true.
king of Rule 34.
No, don't even start that rumor. We're not playing that game.
I'm projecting on the snacking thing. He has cookies and I have vodka.
That sounds right.
My partners, I have barbecue chips and Jack Daniels, but it's way too early in the morning to start drinking, so I'm enjoying a caramel latte instead. Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's true. You're in Australia, so over here it's turning night, and you're just starting up.
10:30 in the
So
morning.
how is Sunday? Anything I should look forward to?
Weather's pretty good. A little bit on the colder end, but sunny, not too bad. Probably wouldn't go to the beach today personally, but depends on how cold you like your water.
Can you do you know how to translate Celsius to Fahrenheit?
Nope, don't know.
Okay.
Probably never
Cool.
will know. I'll use an online calculator kind of thing for that because
what's your body temperature at in Celsius?
body temperature base body temperature is about 36.
36? Okay, so I'm going to do some quick math in my head then. Today it was 38 degrees Celsius here.
Oh, that's
And
actually pretty warm.
miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 100% humidity. It was terrible too.
Oh,
It's-
ouch,
I,
yeah.
and I live in South United States, man. Like
the emphasis on the South.
Yeah. I'm on the
Oh,
Gulf Coast, so we're as close to tropical as you can get. It's ridiculous here right now.
That is very, very unfortunate.
Yep.
But conversely, though, I live in the island state of Tasmania, it's right at the bottom of Australia, and it is so
Right.
close to the Antarctic. It is an international staging point to go visit the Antarctic, and during winter we get absolutely smashed by the
Really, it's bad, huh?
by the Antarctic winds that blow over.
Yeah, I bet.
So
Jeez.
it is it cannot be fun. Like, it doesn't really get below zero too often. It obviously depends on where you go in Tassie, of course, but even when it does, it's that kind of cold where it may only be like zero, but it'll feel 20 degrees below zero.
Right. I know what you mean. Absolutely.
So it's fun.
Yeah, everybody always equates, Australia with being scorching hot, but you guys have quite the spectrum there.
It's amazing how many people I've talked to, and 99% have been from America, that have gone, Australia can get cold? No way!
Yeah.
Uh,
Y'all are a big country, though.
when I was younger, I used to convince any American I found on the internet that I rode to school in a kangaroo.
Oh, that's cool. See, I'm from Louisiana, so we used to convince people we had alligators as pets. So
There
same-
are a couple of people over here in Australia that actually do have crocodiles as pets. So there you go.
yeah, well, I mean, we have them in farms and stuff, but not as pets because they bite people.
I'm assuming you would know of the incredibly famous, very late and great Crocodile Dundee.
Oh yeah. Wait, okay. I thought you were gonna say Steve Irwin, but yeah.
Yeah, Steve. Oh, I was gonna get to Steve Irwin in a second as well, but
Yeah.
Crocodile
Absolutely.
Dundee's more I guess well known in America. Although I
Paul
would
Hogan,
assume
right?
so.
Wait, what? No, wait, it's just last name Hogan. Was that his last name?
Hogan, yeah. Oh, I can't remember his first name now. No, I'm having a blank on that. Jesus.
It wasn't Paul, was it?
Well, yeah, I think it was Paul Hogan.
Because we had
Yeah, it
a
was Paul
we had a
Hogan, yeah.
we had a local leader here named Paul Hogan, who's not the best leader, and I didn't want to mix the two up. So.
Well, I mean, I don't suppose America has a lot of great leaders at the moment.
No, we're not doing great in that department.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we have gone through because we have a prime minister instead of a president. I was going to say precedent. No, we have a prime minister, and we have gone in the last 6 years we've gone through about as many prime ministers through backstabbing conflicts and changes in office and various other different things.
Sure.
Which has been frustrating to say the least. But at the
Isn't
beginning
that
of the
fun?
year, the event in Australia that sparked this amazing shirt I'm wearing, the bushfires,
Right.
our Prime Minister was like, you know what? I'm going to go to Hawaii on a holiday. He checked out,
Just left, huh?
which
Well,
is...
I still feel like he's probably doing better than ours. So
I wasn't going to say that, but...
even if he's not there, he's probably doing better. Oh man.
to be honest, it probably would be better if he wasn't there.
Yeah, it's one thing after another. It's crazy. Oh man. Let's not talk about that though.
Hey, if it comes up in conversation, I'm always down to chat about things. But getting back to your art, because I think we should probably talk about that. So,
Okay.
what was your first Destiny art piece that you did? What was the first thing you created?
The first Destiny art piece that I did was a new Monarchy Titan, female, and you could see her face through the helmet.
Nice.
I could probably find it real fast. Give me 1 second. I'll pull it up because I do have it somewhere. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do.
Whew, that was close. Yes,
Here
no,
we go.
we definitely do. We never say throw another shrimp on the Barbie. That is very, very correct. We don't call them shrimps. They are prawns. But B Young's saying they're called prawns everywhere. But here, look, honestly, Americans have a lot of things that they
Oh yeah.
a lot of names for
we-
things that don't exist anywhere else in the world, and use a very outdated, inaccurate, and in a sore need of changing measurement system of both temperature and of
Oh yeah,
distance.
we're definitely backwards. But you know what? We're proud of it. So that's the first thing I ever
Wow.
did.
That is
And-
insane.
Yeah, my style has shifted a lot because, well, I don't have a style. I just draw whatever I feel like doing at a time. Sometimes I'm really sketchy, sometimes I'm really rendering, sometimes I'm painterly, sometimes I'm very linear. So
good to have a
some people
powerful
create,
style,
like
don't
Monkus and then Pesty, you'll see, their stuff is very structured around how they, in a very similar style to everything else they do, right?
Mm.
And it's beautiful. I love the way they do that, and I cannot. I am just way too willy-nilly with how I approach every piece. I'm like, today I'm gonna do it like this, and this time I do it like this. So, but that's the first one I did. Yeah, I
Ooh,
really like how it came out. It's still one of my favorite ones, but I did it so small. That's only a couple. It's like 4 inches by 6 inches, so it doesn't print out very well and stuff like that. And ever since
Young
then,
saying that you're lying. It was an R34 for your buddy
no, it was
Iceman.
not. It was no. Stop it. Stop. You're gonna start rumors. I don't want that. I don't want to fight that battle. So what I did after that was I went through and did all the factions first, and I was like, well, now that I've done the factions, let me go ahead and do like Crucible set, the Vanguard set. Okay, now I've done those. Let me do the Trials set. Okay, now I got to do the Raid set. So for a while, I was literally just drawing every suit of armor that they made, for all the different classes. I did a set on the Hunters. I did a set for the Warlocks, and so that everybody was represented. And eventually, it just got to be too much armor to keep up with. It just kept putting stuff out. Like, I can't keep it up. So then I just started drawing people's stuff. You tell me you got a cool Guardian look, and there's a strong percentage chance at some point I'll draw that guy. It's just I get bored, draw stuff. So
Well, that's a good way to be. I mean, like, it's good to see that you can really change things up as an artist and do whatever takes your fancy.
yeah. But lately I'm really more like a comic book artist in that I do a lot of line work. I do a lot of linear stuff, and that kind of work. But I don't do as well with the painterly rendering stuff as other guys do. But I can really get down into linear details with lines and hatching, yada yada yada, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm always trying to figure out new ways to color things. That's the other part that
All right.
trying to figure out, most efficient way to do it, the best way to do it. It's tough, but I haven't done anything in traditional media in a long time either. I'm pretty much all digital these days. I just don't have the space to do traditional. Oh god, it's shocking. This guy.
Which is fair enough. I mean, like you do what you're comfortable with. You do what you know. You do what works.
And it is easy, man. It's so much more portable, using the iPad, and a lot of power behind it. There's a lot into it now. A lot of options. It's really
Young's saying, I find crayons work great. Watercolors are nice, but not as efficient.
He's right. He's not wrong. I've seen some of his crayon work, and it's pretty impressive. He's kind of a master at the old crayon.
So did he study art in university with you as well?
Oh no, he barely studied engineering.
Barely studied engineering.
Yeah.
Not to call him out or anything, but
No. He was more interested in studying whatever co-ed was nearby.
Right. Look, I'll admit I might have been a little similar back in college myself. I mean, I studied quite a lot, quite a lot. I actually very much enjoyed what I studied, both being creative writing myself, psychology. I did a little bit of photography there for a while, like ancient history, all the various different things like that. But I also studied
anatomy.
Yeah. Specifically, I majored in female anatomy. B Young, don't even get her started on that. She look, she's a very particular woman when it comes to this kind of thing. She to get really personal here, she actively enjoys hearing about my past exploits, yes. It's a sense of pride and confidence for her. So she will be the one more so to bring this up than I. So, and it paid off.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I picked up a few things here and there.
I, on the other hand, have been with the same woman since I was 17 years old. So
Ah, that's sweet.
yeah. So college was really just no. Okay, let's get through this. So we can get.
Just get through it.
Let's just get. Let's just
Get through this experience.
get on to the rest of life. You know.
Yeah. Hopefully not that required a die. Oh no. I wasn't that dumb. Let's just say dumb. I wasn't that dumb. I didn't, I made sure things were on the up and up.
You know, do it right.
Exactly. And boy, did I do it right. But anyway, on to another conversation. B Young saying he was the bard in your group of college friends.
Yeah, but like he had the shitty charisma. That was weird.
Oh man, I quite like. Look, I quite like D&D myself. I've only actually played it on 2 separate occasions for a very short period of time, like maybe an hour each time. But
Yeah, you need to get into it then, because it's fun.
oh man,
It's a lot of fun.
I've got ideas for characters already set up, ready to go, and like I've watched Will Wheaton's Titan's Grave series. I'm trying to get through all of Critical Role at the moment because I watched the first. That thing will not go down. I watched the first campaign on YouTube, and I'm starting to make my way through the second, which it kind of helps at the moment because with what I do for work, I work for the Australian government, the taxation department. So, which is all I'm legally allowed to say that I do.
Sure.
But yeah, so I get the chance at the moment to, on the way to work, which is about an hour's bus ride in, and then an hour's bus ride back, as well as during work if I am not talking to people on the phones, which is again about as much as I can say. If I'm not doing that, I'm doing other work, which allows me to just have my AirPods in and just listening to the YouTube version of the podcast. I've probably gotten, in the last 2 weeks, I've probably gotten through about 10 or so episodes, which, considering the episodes are usually 4 to 6 hours long, is not bad.
Right, yeah, sure.
5e is great. Yeah, 5e looks like it's going to be the easiest for me to understand, purely because that's what I have seen, that's what I have experienced over the last few years. Like I've got an idea for a character, all very dependent on... Where's that guy coming from? All very dependent on where, like what languages are available, but I love the idea of this bard who is traveling around trying to learn and understand every knowable language, both verbally, written, and also by lip reading. So I really want to be able to create a bard that can actually listen to and understand every single language, and I'll take the, like, it'll be the active feat, the linguist feat, and the I think it's the observant feat, which allows you to read lips.
Lips, yep.
So, oh yeah, I'm really interested in doing that, but I also really like the idea of a basically a wizard who is trying, or a sorcerer, I should probably think, who is trying to effectively become a god of magic, like an actual, like, okay, he is the patron for like magic in general,
right,
because most pantheons that I've seen don't actually have a specific, this is just this particular god deals with magic and magic alone.
Yeah, you'd have to go to Kryn. The Dragonlance series, has a specific god for that. But
yeah, I like the idea of, like, that's his, like, ultimate goal at some points, is to do that.
I play with 2 groups actually. Brian there, B Young's in one of them, and we just started Curse of Strahd up, which is vampire hunting, which is cool.
Ooh, Nice.
And
Stuff like that.
and he's playing. Well, he was playing a goblin monk, but then he had second thoughts, and now I think he's switching over to a tanky paladin guy. I run that game, and then there's the other group I'm in. We're doing Descent into Avernus, and I'm playing a little dwarven fighter with a big old sword.
Yeah.
Because the other guys in the group have always run tanky people, and so we're giving like the guy that always does that the chance to play something different, because he never gets to play anything. So I'm taking over that role for him. So, and it's super fun, man. It's so fun.
What's he saying here? 5 is great. There are builds on /3d6 for that. Also different warlock. Transmutation wizards are the surgeons of magic. They think they're gods, and our group is fucked. Right. Well.
Yeah.
Good to
So
know.
the
I would assume
so-
most D&D groups kind of are to a certain extent.
B Young's strength is that when he gets into something, he gets like all in. And
Nice.
so, whereas some people are like, yeah, I kind of like D&D, and you might go, weeks without looking at D&D. He once he got into it, he's in. He knows, he min-maxes everything. He's, as efficient as humanly possible. He's got everything. So
Does he play Destiny? Because if so,
He
I might
does,
have some questions.
yeah.
Well, I might have some questions for him. I need to learn how to use the charge with light mechanics, because oh my god, I have not done that yet. And if I want to solo Prophecy at some point, which I kind of really do, I'm gonna
Don't
need it,
think
because
you-
I mean, I did some research into it and found out because I'm a freaking hunter main, I'm gonna have the hardest bloody time trying to solo flawless anything,
Solo it.
or just even
Yeah.
solo anything, because
Yeah.
hunters don't get
Right.
that much in terms of healing
it's
or
tough,
defense
yeah.
or damage dealing or really anything. It's like, can't catch a break.
Now he does, he's admitting it, which is good, but he does suck at Destiny. He's terrible.
Strahd
He's a
group
great
is
men.
doomed.
He's got a strong mental game for these games, but he doesn't have the great reflexes and stuff. So, and he hasn't played in a long time, which is again why I'm on PC now more than I am on Xbox, because he was one of my Xbox buddies.
Oh, the moment they put in crossplay, which I'm so happy they're working towards,
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be a game changer, because the fact that cross save is gonna be a thing and everyone's gonna be able to play on every platform. It's gonna have PS4, Xbox One, PS5, Xbox X, and PC, Steam, Stadia. I mean, I'm waiting
Yeah.
for Destiny on Switch to show up at this point, Oh, that'd be good. So Strad group is doomed. What's
yeah. We're not. they didn't exactly coordinate their plan for characters, so they don't have, they ended up with a bard, a rogue, a monk, a ranger, and what was the other guy? A cleric, but not a healing
Oh.
cleric, a trickery cleric.
Oh.
It's like
Oh.
they really don't have a balanced party. They're leaning heavily in one way or another.
I mean, you can have the bards and the clerics. The bard, the cleric, and the ranger do have access to healing. Not massive healing, but I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's the problem, is that it's it's not going to be a strong. Now that being said, I've always found that unbalanced groups are the most entertaining. When you're all balanced out, the game moves as along as it mechanically should, but it's never as much fun as when you have a bunch of lunatics trying to get something done, and they keep hitting their head into the wall because they don't have the right easy way up. You know what I mean?
oh yeah. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I love watching. The Critical Role cast, because not only is the whole set just really nicely done because they have the money to be able to put behind it, but and not only are they insanely talented voice actors who really get into the role.
They're actors. I mean, that's
exactly.
Even voice actors, but they're actors, man. They can really get into it.
That they do things very, very differently, and one of the things I really found interesting was obviously because I don't play it, even though I really want to. It'd be hard to try and organize something like that at the moment. But one of the characters for the second campaign is a goblin. Is a goblin wizard. But no,
Yeah.
he's a goblin. He's a goblin rogue who multi-classed into wizard. It's just such a weird, concept. I'm not sure how strange that actually is in terms of just things in D&D, but it's like, this is cool. I like.
Well, what I like about how they do it, one, the characters were built not from mechanics up, but from character down. So that's what I like, is that they come up with a personality and a weird backstory and stuff, and then they kind of let the numbers play how they want. That's fine. Because to them, the story is paramount, not the min-maxing, optimizing. I don't have this feat, I need to grab that. They're not worried about that. You know, their dice rolls are what they are. Their ability scores are not ever going to be the highest. They don't need to worry about that because they're telling a story. And all D&D is at its core is cooperative storytelling.
Yeah.
It's working together to create the best experience for everybody. It's not about trying to screw over this guy or letting the dice tell the story. No, it's about having fun with your friends in the best way possible. Sometimes you have to fudge rolls. Sometimes as a DM, it's better to let the people win because it's more fun that way. Other times, they might need to get taught a lesson. And even if they succeeded, maybe they should fail this time. You know, so it's more about the story than it is about the rules, you know. And
Yeah.
Critical Role does that great because they don't care about the rules as much. They just want to tell the right story.
Yeah, and then that's what they've always done. Like, one of the biggest examples of this is just the way the story was able to progress with Vax in the first campaign, and the fact that he was a rogue. That's all he ever did. But then, due to some story events, he ended up multi-classing into Paladin because that just made sense for the story at the time, you know. And I love stuff like that. I love that they take great care and really respect the characters, the world they're in, and just let the story develop naturally like that. I'm just like,
I agree.
It's so nice, and you know, it's one of the things for myself. I like being a storyteller. I like being able to do that kind of thing. So I'm hoping. Obviously, I'm gonna need to play in a couple of games eventually myself, but the idea is eventually to definitely start running my own games because I like being a storyteller. It is fun. It is enjoyable. I mean, I read stories to my girls every night before they go to bed, and I like making videos and stuff for that kind of reason. I even experimented doing some very, I didn't know what it was at first years ago when I started doing it, but it was essentially audio books for friends and family because they found that I was good at being able to just read stories to people. So a lot of friends and other family members were like, "Oh, could you do this, or could you do a recording of you reading this children's book so I could play it for the kids," kind of thing. And yeah, eventually hoping to do a little bit more of that, and just enjoy things,
I'm sorry, I spawned in and got sniped to death. Our team is getting smoked.
It's Gambit. It's Gambit.
We're getting killed.
All right. It's time.
Wow.
I brought out the. Oh, thanks for the follow, B. I very sincerely appreciate it. I am going to switch to my invader build now because.
Go have fun, man. That's all you can do.
I am going to. Switch to that. Switch to that. Let's go to projectile targeting. Yep. Doesn't really matter. Really matter in that regard. Although I could. This is one of my invading builds. Max mobility, stompies, lightweight weapon frame, 6-shot golden gun, hammerhead, and a sniper, or a lightweight shotgun and an auto rifle, depends on what the situation calls for. Get you up, go over and mess with them.
Have fun. Have fun storming the castle.
Come on over, Riley. Well, you died, and you're about to. Come back here, come back here, come back here. Come back here. Very busy! Ah, I almost made it. Oh, this guy used his Blade Barrage super while he wasn't actually inside of the buff effect, so that didn't work out well for him. Oh, of course they waited. Of course they waited.
Oh
It's coming
no!
over.
Do 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 do. Hey, it's a bad guy. We got him.
Yeah!
Pretty sure we're winning now, right? That's how you start winning.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Although, to be fair, like, I have been able to turn this around before.
I have not. I've never. I love the idea of Gambit way more than I like the execution of it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it's worked out that way, but...
I think I'd like it more if the enemies were about 20% less tanky.
Yeah.
I think I'd really enjoy, because I love PvE stuff. That's my jam. Although I will say Crucible is fun. Don't get me wrong. I like Crucible too. But I like to focus on one or the other instead of attempting to figure out. There he is. Okay,
Yeah.
he's over on the shoreline.
But he didn't stop me from getting that in, so ha ha ha.
I got sniped with Izanagi's bird.
Ah, really? Really with these nuggets? Oh, okay, so B Young saying I don't really min-max, but I do try to optimize where I can enjoy the roleplay, or current group of players impact how I build more than a module of Pherian's campaign.
Yeah, and that's fair because he has he'll wait to see what everybody else has done, and then try and balance it out. And most of the other players just kind of build on a whim. They're just like, I'm gonna do this time. Why? I'm gonna send over a fall.
Ah, you prick. Falling guillotine. There's certain weapons I absolutely hate as an invader going in, because it's just, oh, if you can get close enough, here's an instant kill for you. Like Xenophage and Truth and Falling Guillotine are just through my most hated invader weapons. Well, weapons I come across as an invader. Mate, you know what? You could never, ever be as terrible as the time. I thought it was going to be a really great idea to just jump in against a, oh, okay, no, that's over. But jump in against a, bloody Hammer Titan and go, oh, I know what's going to work. I'm going to punch him.
Yeah. Good times.
I will say though, my proudest moment as a hunter, and I say this all the time because it's awesome. I went up against an overflowing max resilience Titan in a top tree in a bubble using Helm of Same 14. I cast my Arc Strider Super, went in and just smacked the hell out of him because he didn't move, he didn't do anything. Apart, he did throw up a barrier. Actually, he did throw up a barrier, but I was able to just like smash through that, smash through the bubble, smash him, kill him. I died, which is okay. I did not have a problem with that because it's the fact I was able to kill him. I was like, yep, that's it. I've peaked as a hunter. That's all
Nice.
I need to do. Like, I'm still of the opinion that Celestial Nighthawk, if I use that with bottom trade, should be able to pierce through a Titan's bubble. But, yeah.
As a Titan, I'd be kind of annoyed by that, but only because it's the bubble should be what it is, and if you don't want to mess with it, don't mess with it. It's an easy avoid, you know.
That's fair. So, what would you say is well, actually, yeah. Who is your ultimate Destiny Bae? Who is top tier for you?
And by that, I got to make sure I understand the lingo. You're talking about which person would I be it like think is the coolest or attractive, or what am I talking here?
So yeah, like attractiveness, general likingness of them, um, you know, pretty much like that. Some combination.
If you have to get weird, then Marasov is pretty as
Yeah.
far as a character design. I wish they'd use Amanda Holiday more because I think her character deserves more development. Because she's like the only human that's actually doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop it, Be Young. Quit it. And let's see. That's probably it. I mean, I don't really. It never really occurs to me. As far as just in general characters, I think that they should do more with.
Yeah.
I think characters like Sloane and Devram and stuff are interesting, but they really need to do more cutscene-y type stuff with their characters. They need to make them look more than just a guy that has sit in the same tower for 6 years or whatever, like 3 years. And I want to know more about what Sloane does. Like, show me. Asher can stay there. You just stay over there, Asher. That's fine. And same thing with brother, whatever his name is, Vance. But
we've actually got a little bit more information regarding Asher Mir has a massive thing for Eris, though Eris she either does not realize it or just does not care. But Asher does kind of. He's as much as I hate this, he's been kind of friend zoned a little bit. In that aspect of he does really care for her, but she only views him as a very close friend. And they always have been close friends, but she's been
Eris.
close.
I mean, what do you expect?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because she can't have Eris can't have any love other than whatever she's currently fighting. It's
right.
Once the fire team got absolutely obliterated, that was it. That's all she cared about was revenge, Hive, Marasov, darkness. And,
she's a little obsessive, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So we'll say Devram. Yeah, so Devram is one of the first openly gay characters in the Destiny universe, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And he is also not the first Devram K. Turns out Devram K is a very much a family name, but also kind of a title that was passed along down his family. So
interesting.
Yeah, the more you know. Which leads me on to 2 more questions. One, in general, who is your favorite Destiny character, both in game and just in the lore? And what is your favorite Destiny story? Which can be both in game and in the lore as well.
Okay, so what was the first one? I got the story part. I already blanked on the second.
So the first part was who's your favorite Destiny character?
Okay, so favorite Destiny character. I'm a sucker for Zavala. I like the fact that people he's got a very, very honorable thing to him. He knows his responsibility. He's gonna do it. It might not make him popular. People won't like him for it, but he does it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do like them. And Shaxx, of course, is just fun. He's just a fun character. Story-wise, I don't know, man. Like, honestly, the main Guardian story, it's really crazy how the moment we popped up, like, everything went nuts, how it seems like things were kind of just in a stalemate for a long time, and then all of a sudden we get made, and it's just one crazy thing after the other. Like we're the catalyst for everything, and I think it's pretty neat. In the lore, I'd like to know more about what Mithrax was doing and the Fallen and all that stuff. I'd like to know where they came from, but and I want to see more with Mithrax is the other thing. Like that, there's a lot of little side things that they start and don't always like pan out. So I'm looking forward to dealing with the Stranger again, big time, because that was a big part of D1, and I want to know what the deal is. So looking forward to that. I'd actually really like, what I'd love is to be on. I can sign an NDA if they want, but for them to tell me what their original idea was for D1 before it all changed and scrapped. You know what I mean? I'd love to know how it was supposed to play out in the beginning. If everything worked out well.
That would be really interesting. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. That's my own fault.
Oh god, I'm killed. I'm gonna get sniped, aren't I?
It's coming up.
I don't know where the bad guy is.
He's on me. Ah, yeah, and he has hammerhead. Oh, I am not doing well today. What was I gonna say? Something. Totally forgot what it was. Yeah, Zavala himself, I quite like him as well. He is, as a character, people are very much misunderstanding of him. Like they don't understand the kind of position that he's in, that he has to be in. Like a lot of people thought he was very ineffective in general, but then as soon as Forsaken came around, people got pissed at him for not going after Aldrin. And
yeah, that's not his job. He has a duty. And his duty is to more than just Cade. It's to literally every civilian in the city,
Exactly, like he couldn't seek revenge, not only because it wasn't the right thing to do in general, but it just also wasn't smart for him to do that, because he's a Vanguard commander. At this point, he's the only thing the city has in terms of leadership.
Right.
And he can't afford to be doing that kind of thing. He just can't.
And let's be fair, he has us like in his pocket. We've slain gods and stuff. It's like, as much as he would want to, it's like, I'll just send them. They're fine. They'll handle it.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's, man. And there's a lot of lore that people miss out on when regards to him. With the way that the city's been handling the pyramid attacks, and how they've got a massive exodus to perform. The Oxygen SR3 scout rifle that we got as one of the pinnacle weapons. Honestly, one of my favorite pieces of lore, because it shows Zavala's softer side, and Ikora's as well, but also really kind of opens our eyes to the romance between the two. It kind of just goes, hey, this is a thing, which is, it's just nice to see.
Yep.
Ah, just hammerhead.
Guys
man.
at Bungie are really impressive, honestly. The putting together all this cohesive world somehow. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's no ordinary game studio can do this.
No.
They've done well.
Doop 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 doop.
Right, come on! I want the portal to hurry up. That we did work at the same time.
Peregrine Greaves.
Two,
Need one more to send over, dude.
3, 4. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Got them all. Nice work.
Yep.
All right, here comes the primeval. Well, never mind. Our boy Sugar Nips needs to bring over his guy. He's got 15 on him. He's still running around.
Yeah, they do that.
I mean, the Drifter said it like 6 times in a row.
Come
Good
on.
enough. Why don't you go put them in? No? Okay.
It's one of the things I don't like about playing with blueberries is they just do not understand how to play this game mode. Far out. Spank the
Another
moats.
6. Bank and summon the primeval. I hope that's you and not them. Dude, why aren't you banking? What is your deal? Oh, these guys are farming stuff. They gotta be.
Ah, he missed me too. Damn it.
It's alright, good try, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to.
I'll go deposit
Yeah.
these 5 and get the primeval. I mean, jeez.
They're probably not gonna help us do much in terms of boss damage either. Like if they're trying to farm kills or something like that, they could just go to Leviathan, do escalation protocol, you know.
There's plenty of ways to play the game without ruining it for other people.
Exactly. Oh. Yeah, of course it dies as soon as the portal comes up. That'll be right.
Oh, hi.
Ooh.
Come
Ooh.
on back.
Ooh. Ah, of course it had to do that. Nah, they've got it. They're not gonna get over in enough time. Yep.
No, gosh no. I wonder what the deal was.
Do not know. I will never know. I'll never understand these people sometimes.
Wake up, your day's still starting.
Oh yeah. Speaking of. Amara! You wanna come here? Wanna say hi? No? You wanna run off? Okay. No, she wants to run off. Fair enough. That's my daughter.
Yeah.
Ah. So is there anything, because I've been asking you a lot of questions, is there anything story-wise or lore-wise that you have questions about, want to know more about, anything like that, that I might be able to answer for you? I'm not biased or Mylan or anyone like that, but I, you know,
No.
I
I don't know. I don't really. I'd be honest with you. I don't really get into it too much. I peruse, but my brain doesn't do a good job these days of remembering specifics, which
Yeah.
is why I'm pretty poor as a homebrew DM these days. I stick to the modules and stuff. Because I'll tell them a name of some new character, like there's a forge master and his name's this, and then like literally a minute later I can't remember what I named him. So I'm more of a just generalist type guy. I enjoy the lore, but I don't seek it out very often.
That's fair.
I love it. It's cool. It's really neat that the game has this much depth. I just want to see it on the screen more and less like. Yeah, I just want to see it on screen.
Stuff, yeah.
You know, see some stories told.
That'd be nice. I mean, it would be hard, and I do definitely get that. I mean, especially because I am a hunter main myself, but I love the story of the Last Word and Thorn, like starting off with Jaren Ward and Razor Lazir, and then all the way up until we craft Lumina. We never get to see Shin. We never get to meet him. I want to meet Shin Malphur, like the man with the golden gun. Like and we find like the story of him was just fascinating for the longest time because we didn't understand how he was the only person in the lore who in the whole story of Destiny who had managed to take on someone else's ghost and become a guardian that way. We didn't know how that was even possible.
That's neat. That's
No.
a neat idea.
And each ghost is meant to have its own like frequency of light that they operate in, and the whole thing in that regard. But we found out with the story of Shin, he was originally rezzed when he was very, very, very young. So when he was a child, and there was a ghost that was helping a bunch of, because this ghost didn't have a guardian at this point. This ghost was helping a bunch of different refugees try to get to the last city, and they got hit by the Fallen. They survived, but the child didn't, and the ghost just immediately felt that need to resurrect the child. It's one of those things that all ghosts feel when they finally find their charge. But in order to allow this kid to survive, what this ghost did was it led the Fallen away. It directed the guys to where they needed to go for the last city, but it directed the Fallen away and got killed as a result. So as far as we're aware, the child did grow up normally to a certain extent, so that kind of confirmed the whole you do grow as a guardian. There is an aging process. Whether or not it stops at a certain point, we don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, so he did have powers of the light, but was not able to access that until he was able to take on Jaren Ward's ghost. And whether or not that was the catalyst for him unlocking the Golden Gun super or not, we don't know. But as far as we're aware, this also might have been the first time that the Golden Gun was actually used, because it's the first time we actually see that in the lore as someone discovering that super. Because it was something that Shin actually said in that story, was Jaren, as he was an amazing guardian, an amazing gunslinger, but he didn't have the fire within him to be able to kill Draken Yor. And it was basically saying you needed a golden gun, you needed a super in order to do that. And it didn't look like Jaren had that, which was just really, really fascinating. So I would love to meet him in the story. Like, I'm not sure how they do it, but
that would be neat. That would be neat.
You know, like maybe he gives us a hunter's exotic armor piece too. Because I mean, I would love that.
Yeah, in a perfect world, what I'd love to see, and I hope they pull this off eventually, though, is my ghost shell being completely separate from the perks, so that I can just decorate my ghost however I want. And honestly, I'd love a choice of voices. I always would have for my ghost.
Oh yes, that would be amazing.
It just in a perfect world. I know it's not gonna happen. I know it's not feasible, but that to me would be super cool to be able to really personalize who your character is, what who his ghost is. And I love when other ghosts have personalities. Sagira was a really neat thing. I really enjoyed that. Mercury, you can say what you want about the expansion, but it opened up a whole cool little situation where we got to experience life with a different ghost. That was neat. I liked it.
Yeah.
It's just because that's all we know about our character is literally what we physically do with them and the ghost, how the ghost talks,
and the fact that Matthew Mercer now voices the human male equivalent.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he does. He was the voice of the human male guardian in Forsaken.
For all of 3 lines, what did he get?
Yeah, pretty much. Just you don't have
shame.
to. Aldrin Sov is mine. I was like, yes, this is so good.
Yeah.
I love Matthew Mercer so much.
So that's the thing is, if you're gonna go in though, you got to go all in, dude. Give him real lines. Let him really dig into it.
I can't remember, but we hadn't actually spoken for a very long time.
Yeah, it's like 14 months or something. I don't know. Some kind of crazy high number. Silly.
But I can understand from a business perspective why that is so hard for them to do.
Sure, yeah.
I mean,
course.
not only
economics always plays a role.
and it's not just translating into English. It is having to do. I'm not sure if it's 3 separate voice lines for 3 separate voice actors for Awoken, Exo, and Human. But if it is, it's that, and then you need male and female voices, and then you need each of those separate voices for each of the various different languages that they have to operate in, and then when you put that into perspective, you can understand why our Guardian doesn't speak much.
Yeah. And honestly, from a storytelling standpoint, the silent the silent what do you call it, protagonist is it's easier to write for. You know, it's very versatile, which is why if you're gonna go, you either go all in or not. In a lot of ways, you know, because I have friends that like absolutely hate that their guardian talks because it ruined the view that they had of their god. They established the way their character thought and acted and yada yada, and then when he started talking, they're like, wait, that's because it solidifies you on one approach to that character instead of the silent protagonist. So overall, though, it is what it is. It's fine. They did a good job with what they did. I'm definitely not upset with it. I respect pretty much everything Bungie does. A lot of times, the only thing I would like to have is just a little bit more clarity about why they're making the decisions they're making. And but you take what you can get. It is what it is.
Fucking Truth. Oh, there it is. Truth. I was waiting for it. I knew it was gonna show up today. Anyway. Yeah, no, I'm exactly the same.
I love those developer diaries that they do and stuff. That's just super.
Oh, who does Claudia Black play? Because I love Farscape, and there are not that many people outside of Australia I've met who have actually seen that show.
Yeah, B Young knows Farscape. I remember that. I don't know who that is. I never watched it.
Great sci-fi show. With a lot of Australian actors and whatnot. And it's just so very different.
I just got run over by a warlock. I think he's got 2 arrows stuck in his head. Yay! No, don't look at me, Prime. What are you
Watched it more
doing?
than once. Yeah, I need to do another rewatch of it actually. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I've always really enjoyed it. So, yeah, definitely Jim Henson Company property. Jump in and play a little bit of Crucible after this, and maybe finish off with some Menagerie. How do you feel about that?
I probably got time for about 30 more minutes before.
Yeah.
I'll have to bail eventually. It is what it is.
Oh, that guy did not do well on his Nova Bomb. That did not hit anybody or anything. That's hilarious. But yeah, I usually have the most of my streams usually go for about 2-ish hours, dependent on what I'm doing, and the interviews usually take about that long. So I am more than fine with that. So we'll see how it goes. Ooh, Peacekeeper Wars. Yeah, no, I was meaning to go through that as well. Comics. Oh, nice. But yeah, does anyone in the chat at all have any more questions for Pherian regarding anything, work, art, Destiny, anything else? Definitely want to try and get through as many as possible because this is an awesome opportunity, and I am still very, very stoked that he's decided to come on. So make the most of it.
No, not an invader.
Goblins.
got him. I mean, he blew me up, but I got him.
Yeah. Oh, and never mind. The primeval just killed me.
Happens. So how long you been streaming, man?
I originally started just messing around with it about, God, was it close to two-ish years ago? Close to the 3,
Yeah.
I guess. Just using the basic stream function on the PS4 when I was playing through.
Sure.
Whenever God of War released for PlayStation 4,
Okay.
whenever that
Alright.
was, and then I started really seriously getting into it a little bit more after that, but I wasn't working at the time and didn't have much in the way of money, so I couldn't really get proper setups and whatnot, and so eventually I ended up taking a bit of a break from it, but then picked it back up again, and yeah, I've been loving it ever since. I'm trying to do the best I can, provide the best kind of entertainment I can for people, and provide a space where people can come, chill, hang out, enjoy themselves, ask questions, do whatever. It's if I can provide a space for people to do that, and make someone's day a little better, then yeah, I've done my job.
Behind you, the truth on the ground behind you. Just let you know.
Oh damn! I was trying to hopefully get that.
He's about to blow you up.
Ah, so close. Almost had it. There's only 3 of them there. I'll be able to jump over and deal with them. But yeah, so I'm looking into doing some audio book work and like any kind of voice acting I'll definitely take on. But trying to do my YouTube videos as well. Talk about the lore of the game and various different things like that. The hope is that I will eventually end up working with people like Mylan and Bife and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because that would be
Great.
awesome for myself personally. Because I really look up to those guys. But also, oh, that was a good snipe. No, to me, it doesn't really matter too much what I end up, like if I end up with a big following or not, or how successful, quote unquote, I end up being. As long as I enjoy myself, as long as people enjoy what I do, and I'm able to bring that, bring that positivity, bring that joy to people, then that's great. It would be awesome to have a massive following and to have this be a career for me. Certainly hope something like that can happen at some point, but if it's
You got the right attitude though. You're just doing what you can to make the world a little bit better every day, right?
Exactly. That's what I want to be doing. If I can do that,
that's all we
then,
can ask.
yeah, I've done my
You
job.
know, I've been raising my kids now for a decade. Since they've been able to speak, the first rule of my house is be nice. You can disagree, you can have differing opinions, but you're going to be pleasant about it. You're going to be kind about it, because it's important that we don't forget that we're all in this together. We can't treat each other poorly just because you personally aren't feeling good. So, first rule is be nice, and then when I ask them, why are we here? And the answer is, we're here to help other people. Always. If you're here just to help yourself, you wouldn't have survived, because society can't function if all you do is function alone, right? So we're here to help other people. If everybody has that same mentality, guess what? Everybody's helping everybody. We're all going to get through it. And the last one is, who controls you? And the answer is you. Ultimately, you're responsible for your own decisions. So every bad choice you make, you can't blame on other people. You can't blame. You can't say, "Oh, I did this because he did this." No, it's not his blame. He might have done something, but you had the responsibility to make the right choice after that. So those are the 3 things basically that we kind of live our life by over here. All you can do is try and do better every day by helping other people, making their lives easier if possible.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I do definitely try to live my life in a very similar way myself. It's always, do as much good as you can. If you have the option to do good, do it. It doesn't cost you anything. even if it does cost you something, like you know, I can't even count the amount of times I've paid for the meal of the person behind me. You know, when I've been in a checkout for something like Macca's, or you know, or
Right.
I've,
I know what you mean.
you know, bought someone's groceries for them, or you know, I've helped someone load something to their car, or you know, like I've done things like, you know, help someone do a raid on Destiny. You know, I've gotten them an exotic weapon that they've really been going after. You know, like that's the kind of stuff I want to do, want to keep doing, and that I'm going to be passing on to my kids as well, because you can never be too kind. You can never put too much kindness and too much love out there. You know, the world always needs a little bit more of it.
Yep. Absolutely right.
Started introducing our kids to Mr. Roger's neighborhood. Next point, it means to be a good neighbor. That's awesome, man.
That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
I like
Sir
that.
Rogers is a ridiculously incredible human being.
Oh, he is. Definitely is. Definitely is.
Control.
Show your enemy this place belongs to you now.
Yeah, it would have been awesome to meet him.
Oh yeah. How cool.
Enemy claims zone A. Zone C.
Claim zone A. No, why would they do that? Ah.
Two different. Oh, damn.
You gained the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to go after, because I got my guard roll full in guillotine.
Zone advantage.
Oh yeah.
I got. I'll bring it up actually. That's hammerhead. That's not what I want. I want guillotine. Thank you.
Oh no. He's floating in the air above sea. He's dead. Somebody's gonna kill him.
So I've got it with Jagged Edge, Swordmaster's Guard, Relentless Strikes, and Whirlwind Blade with Boss Spec on it. But I've also got the option to use Enduring Blade with Backup Mag to and increase sword reserves to just really push the limit of how much how much ammo I can run for it, should I want to do it that way as well. But I'm trying to go for, because I have the world's worst aim, I'm trying to go for as much stability on a Gnawing Hunger as I can get, and I've got almost the perfect Gnawing Hunger, because I got it with Chambered Compensator, which increases stability and moderately controls recoil. I've got it with Steady Rounds, which greatly increases stability. I've got it with Zen Moment, which increases stability when he calls damage, and I've got it with a counterbalance stock on, and Kill Clip.
Awesome.
It's not too bad, but
It's a laser
doesn't-
then, huh?
it doesn't have a stability masterwork. It's a reload masterwork, and it's just so very close to being perfect, because I'm running double enhanced flinching rifle aim and scatter projectile targeting, so all I need to do is just do a little bit better, and that would be fine. But I'll take every advantage I can get, because I'm not great at PvP at all.
Peregrine Greaves.
No, the references show being on Prime is a blessing. I wonder if it's going to be on Amazon Prime in Australia. Oh god, that aim was terrible for me. That
It's always
so
weird
bad.
to me too that they put it on Amazon Prime, but like not in certain regions. That's always weird to me.
It's just how regions work, I guess. You know, different countries have different laws and would need to get different.
Zone B lost.
Yeah, it's just strange.
I hate One-Eyed Mask. One-Eyed Mask can just go die.
Go die, One-Eyed Mask.
Yeah, as a hunter, I do not like it. Especially now that people are starting to realize, oh, they can use it with top tree bloody sentinel. Yes, because what we need is more titans with bloody overshields.
Hey. There's nothing wrong with Titans and overshields.
I'm not salty about the fact that titans and warlocks can move faster than what is meant to be the most agile and mobile class in the game.
Oh
Especially,
no, I'm with you. So I actually support strengthening the differences between the classes. I would love to see tankier, bulkier, stompier Titans, lighter, more fluid hunters or whatever. You know what I mean? Definitely. I'm okay with this.
Also, be nice to have Golden Gun. Ah, damn it. Golden Gun get the love it deserves, because Golden Gun is the only super that doesn't have any damage resistance out of any in the game, which I think is absolute crap, because, I mean, all supers should have even a modicum of damage resistance, but, like, I would accept maybe an extra 15%. It'd still be the lowest out of all the classes, but it'd at least have something. They nerfed it so it can't even top tree can't even one shot anymore. And hunters don't have any way to heal or have any extra way of getting extra
Oh no, y'all heal. I see people dodging and healing up immediately all the time.
Wormhouse Crown is the only it's the only way for hunters to be able to heal. And it forces us to we have to use bottom tree Arc Strider if we're going to use it, because we get a little bit of damage resistance on our bottom tree dodge. But as well as that is the... Oh, that was close. Like, Wormhouse Crown doesn't even heal all the way anymore. You know, if you're on critical health and you heal, you're not healing all the way. It is good because you can, especially using bottom tree and max mobility, you can get your dodge back pretty quickly, but the dodge doesn't even do that much. I mean, its damage resistance isn't as much as what it should be, considering the way that the game works these days, with how much damage people can actually put into things. You know, and the fact that even the one-shot melee that we have with the weighted knife, they took down the tracking of it, and it doesn't even one-shot anymore. It's just like, oh, come on, give us a break, please.
Yeah, to be fair, you guys are in a little bit of a tough spot. There's no doubt. You guys are... But I think that everybody goes through these lulls.
They nerfed Wormhusk Ground so quickly, but like One-Eyed Mask took a very long time, and even now, it's still pretty OP if they're using Top Tree Sentinel. It's just like, please break, please break at some point.
Right.
But yeah, that's just me being a hunter main and complaining about things like that. You know, like, I've still always been the opinion that the hunter's Arc Strider, especially bottom tree, like, I can run, if I'm using Stompies with traction and, god damn it, Stompies with traction, Mitre, Multi-Tool, Mini-Tool, and Quick Fang, bottom tree Arc Strider, I can run about 130 or so mobility, close to 140, and I think by, like, at that point, especially if I cast my Arc Strider Super, I should be able to move really, really fast, but, you know, and at least also had the ability to dodge midair, which, you know, hunters can't do, and hunters dodge is, like, the thing that they can do, but warlocks can dodge mid-air? What?
Yeah.
What? And they can use that to move faster than a hunter can on... What?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't understand it.
Oh yeah, there's some warlock builds that are outrageously cool. I've seen them do some stuff, man. I've seen some things.
I wouldn't recommend it.
It's fine. It's all good. I'm fine.
Do you know the Reading Rainbow? I feel like I would know that. Like, it does sound familiar, but I don't know.
LeVar Burton is from Star Trek.
Sorry, what was that?
He was Geordie LaForge back in the Next Generation days.
Ooh, no, that's going back.
I'd be too young for that, actually.
Oh, no, my mother was a massive Star Trek fan, so... Massive Star Trek and Doctor Who fan, so I kind of grew up on the older shows. I was watching, I was actually rewatching
what a combo.
the Doctor Who rewatch that they had on
tanked it.
Ah, see, yep, no, that didn't work. But yeah, they had a Doctor Who. Although they were rebroadcasting Doctor Who on in Australia there for a little while, which was really interesting actually. And they started with the original black and white episodes, and then went all the way through, and that's where I actually first started watching it.
Interesting.
So yeah, definitely changed over the years.
Alright, I probably got one more match in me.
Alrighty.
Oh, you doing a menagerie?
Oh yeah. No, if you're down for it, of course. It's up to you.
That's I haven't done this in a long time.
Should be fine. Should be fine.
Arcs.
We'll see how this goes.
Oh, I gotta change my subclass because damage taken in the air is increased. That's not good where I'm at.
Oh. Okay, here's a podcast called Leave a Burton Rees. It is one.
Yeah, LeVar Burton Reed.
Oh, LeVar Burton, right.
Yeah,
I will check that out. I will definitely check that out.
It's solid.
Oh, so I guess. Oh, hold on. So I guess that also begs the question: what are some of your favorite shows and movies and podcasts? What would you recommend?
I'm kind of all over the place as far as
Yeah.
movies I like. Now, I am drawn more toward the action-y, mystery type stuff than I am toward I don't do medical dramas or courtroom dramas or anything like that. That just doesn't do anything for me. So and silly comedies. So for silly comedy type stuff, you had your classics like The Office or Parks and Recreation was wonderful.
Nice.
Right now I'm watching Letterkenny, which is a Canadian comedy about like rednecks up in Canada, and it's dry humor, real fast talking, and Canadian accents, but it's just it's absurdly funny. It's good.
Right.
It's definitely its own thing as far as style of show goes. But I have a tendency to watch. I don't know what that. I can't remember how to play this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't done Menagerie in forever.
It's fine.
So I'll watch a bunch of anything with like monsters and wizards. Obviously, Stranger Things is wonderful. That kind of stuff. But
Yeah, I quite like Stranger Things myself. It's a really good show. Parks and Rec and The Office, again, really, really good shows. I did a rewatch of it about 2 months ago, actually. Yeah, and it's one of those shows that I've been able to actually sit down and rewatch because a lot of the time I can't do that with shows.
yeah.
It's a really good memory when it comes to shows and stories. That is arc damage, right? So, yeah, but I do really enjoy them, and definitely.
I'm having trouble thinking of what shows I actually watch. I can just pull up my list at some point on Netflix. It'd be great, but I cannot think of anything right this time. Okay, I got a slot ruins into my chalice apparently because my Destiny thing is having an aneurysm over here. It's losing its mind. At the bottom of my screen, it just won't shut up.
Yeah, it does that. Every time I jump into Menagerie at the moment, which has only been maybe a couple of times in the last couple of days, because most of the other weapons here are they're okay. I've got a beloved somewhere that's still pretty good. I'm just kind of looking for a decently rolled Imperial Decree at the moment, which is the kinetic shotgun, which is actually a really good kinetic shotgun, but I had not done much with it beforehand, so it's like, why not have a bit of content here and also grind for a decent weapon, which isn't bad.
Chalice. Let's slot some runes. Here we go.
Oh, okay, this way.
Armor, weapons, submachine guns. No, thank you.
Be Young, the Great.
Oh, the Great's good. Yeah, I did watch that. I enjoyed it.
Oh, so
I did.
That is the show then.
Yeah, it's a show on. I think it's Hulu, and it's.
Which we don't have.
It's got. Oh man, it's about Catherine the Great.
Oh really?
Yeah, and it's really sardonic humor. It's really kind of goofy, and not goofy. It's dark humor is really what it is. But it's super good with that. In regards to that, they do a great job with it.
Nice. Do you do much in the? Oh well, I mean, and considering you did say you do a lot of writing, do you do much in the way of reading at the moment, if you get time?
Not really, and that's a shame because I used to read nonstop, like all the time, and lately I have not. I am a sucker for graphic novels, so I have pretty much every Batman graphic novel out there. I have a ton of the other ones, but yeah, that's really more my thing these days is that sort of stuff.
Be Young is saying solid show. The Watchmen, HBO Max now. Peace Talks is out.
Also great. Yep. He's doing a better job of answering your question than I am. That's for sure.
I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah. It's definitely. Those are all good shows. I really surprisingly enjoyed that. You know what another show is that I weirdly enjoy a lot?
Yeah.
There's this show. It's on network television in America, I think, and it's called. Is it Good Girls? I think it is. It's a movie about three like house mom type people, and they are slowly but surely pulled into a world of crime, and it's weirdly good. Like it's not something that would ever be on my radar normally, and I don't know how it ended up there. I like picked it up on Netflix one day, and ended up enjoying it a lot. It's surprisingly addictive to see what kind of nuts stuff they get into.
Might have to give that a watch as well.
Yeah, if you have Netflix, it should be on there. Like I said, it is a a network show of some sort, maybe NBC or something like that. But it's good, man. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, if we
Like
we get it over
each
here.
of the women are friends, and they all, of course, need money somehow, right? Life has slammed them in some way or another. Like one girl's daughter is sick or something, and another woman's husband basically philandered and spent all their money on fruitless things. And then the last one is just, she works a dead-end job at like a grocery store or something like that. And so they're all like, man, I could use the money. And the grocery store girl, like the first episode says, man, I've always thought about just robbing my grocery store because it'd be so easy. There's at least $10K in the vault or whatever. And, no one watches the back and yada yada. And they're like, well, let's just do it. And so they rob the place. And then one thing leads to another. And next thing you know, they're like drug mules for the mafia. I mean, just like the cartels. It just gets crazier and crazier. All because they're just trying to. They want to do best by their family, but they can't. It's nuts.
Does actually sound like a fairly interesting show. I wouldn't mind giving it a watch, but
it weirdly
we'll have to
is.
see if it's on Netflix in Australia because it's very, very different over here.
Wait, did he just say that the Dresden Files book is out?
Yes.
Okay, so that I'll read. B. Young got me into Dresden Files. It's a book series about a modern-day wizard. I don't know if you've heard of it, read it.
No, but...
Oh, dude. Oh, my gosh. It's like 20 books now or something crazy.
Oh, Jesus.
It's fantastic though. It's about a guy named Harry Dresden, and he's a PI in Chicago, and he's a wizard, and he's openly a wizard. He's like, yeah, I'm a wizard. And everybody's like, okay, yeah, sure, but so he'll like find your lost keys or your daughter or whatever if she's, and he uses legit magic to do it, and people are just like, yeah, okay, whatever, and chaos ensues. Like it just gets crazier and crazier for him too. Every book is something. Oh, I'm dead. Wow, that was fast. Um, every book is it gets closer and closer to the apocalypse.
Right.
So I got to pick that up immediately. I got to get it ordered. Like literally when I sign off of this before I go to bed, I'm gonna go ahead and order it.
That sounds awesome. Right, well, I'm
Yeah.
about to give it a go. One of my
Man,
favorite
it's
artists, Raymond Feist, he has created like 30 or so separate books, all in the same game world, but it's just, nah, it's nuts. Like, it spans like 5 or 6 different generations because the books are all really, generally very, very thick, and
Yeah.
all follow different series, and it's just like, oh god, trying to catch up with that kind of stuff. Just don't have time.
Yeah. Well, these books flow really well. Like when you read it, it moves. It
Yeah.
pulls you along. He's got a great narrative style. He's not too wordy. He's it's good. It's well done.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to add that to the list.
I have a friend of mine, one of my wife's best friends, and couldn't be more different. Super, just real good, wholesome Christian girl. Not a fantasy buff or anything like that, right? And she was like, I need something to read. I'm like, here, take this, because she was going somewhere, and I had the first book of Dresden Files, and I gave it to her.
Right.
And she came back. She's like, okay, that was wrong to give me one, but not the rest. And she basically took the whole bag of 15 that I had. She's like all in now,
Oh,
it's so funny.
brilliant.
So she's
Two
gonna
books
love
this
the fact
year,
that it's
Jim
back.
Butcher is the author. Oh, right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Look that up. Great.
And he also wrote a series that's more of a traditional fantasy, called the Codex Alera, and that's a 6-book series. It has a definitive end to it. It's done. Also extremely good. And
Right.
that one came about because his friend bet him that he wouldn't be able to write a fantasy book about a serious fantasy book about Pokemon. And
No.
he was like, challenge accepted. And basically he created his own version of, Pokemon or whatever. And he turned them into elementals in the environment that they're in and stuff. And dude,
Oh my God.
one of the best stories. It's great.
I have to look at this. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's wonderful, man. It's not a joke at all. When it sounds great, it sounds silly, but man, it's a serious book series, and it's really good.
Oh, I remember seeing like a fully fleshed out idea of how to play a Pokemon trainer in D&D.
Oh,
Someone had
Lord.
actually, like, oh yeah.
That's funny.
It is Rule 34, but for D&D almost. It's just someone has gone, you know what? It'd be great to play as a Pokemon trainer in D&D, and someone just went, you know what? I'm gonna create that.
That's
I'm going to
funny.
figure out how to make that work, and it seems pretty legit,
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have the right dungeon master. That is for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a build for a Keyblade warrior from Kingdom Hearts in there as well, which
Oh, sure.
would be interesting to actually see how that plays out. But yeah, it's nuts what you can get away with.
Oh, it's fun.
Oh, actually, there's a
If
guy.
you have a good group and a good DM and stuff like that, you can have just so much fun. I actually spent the better part of yesterday coming up with an entirely new class for D&D, just because I realized there's only one class that has tanky hit points, like the D12 as the hit die. I'm like, well, I can make one, have a decent idea, and it wouldn't be purely damage based like the Barbarian is, So spent the day making that. It was fun.
Right. Well, bit of a side note, I guess, for this. The reason why this is called the Mockery is because Callus is making a mockery of the blind well in the Dreaming City.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
See?
That's cool.
Here's this room. This room is my little joke, a fitting tribute to the Awoken Queen. Yeah, there you go.
Interesting.
Um,
Okay, I can't remember how this one works. I know it has mechanics, so I'm just gonna kill things.
essentially blind well. If you remember that.
I
Kill things, gotta
do.
stay inside the bubbles. But yeah, a really great Australian author who does things a little differently himself. Matthew Riley. He
Okay.
creates these amazing series, bunch of different characters, all centered around like one's a bit of a spy series, an action thriller, a couple of standalone stories, but one series I love in particular, who actually has as an Australian main character, which is awesome, because you don't usually find the characters that are the main characters is an Australian in any story. They
Except for the best stories, let's be honest.
yeah, the best stories, exactly. But he writes this series about. It starts off as just a standalone book called The Seven Ancient Wonders, and it centers around this idea that, oh, not idea, but the original concept of the Great Pyramid of Giza, Khufu's pyramid. It
Sure.
originally had a golden capstone that sat on top of it. That's just been lost to antiquity. Well,
Right, I remember that. It was because the top was gold, but the rest was alabaster, white stone. Is that
yeah,
correct?
yeah.
So it gleamed in the sun. Yeah.
Well, he looked at that. And he looked at the Tartarus sunspot, the biggest and most prominent of the sunspots on the sun, and how whenever it is turned directly face Earth, the temperature rises a bit. So
Okay.
he played around with this idea that the golden capstone on top of the pyramid was actually a way of channeling the heat generated by the Tartarus sunspot, so that it would not completely boil the Earth's oceans and basically cause an apocalypse. Because if it went unchecked, it would have the ability to be able to do that. So
That's
the
interesting.
Egyptians were able to put that up with some help, because it was very clearly not. It had a technology and an almost magic to it that was just far outside of like a regular civilization's capabilities. So anyway, it was then split up into 7 different pieces and sent throughout the world, and ended up in 7 different wonders. And he gets the time eventually comes where they have to assemble the capstone again on top of the pyramid by about midday, where the sunspot actually goes directly over Egypt, and there's this ritual that has to be performed, where if it's done right, the nation that does it gets unlimited power for the next 1,000 years. And so the Americans are like, well, we're gonna do that, and we're gonna
Sure.
rule everything.
Which makes complete sense, because that's what America would do.
Oh yeah. So there's that, and then there was the fact that he talked about the fact that the Americans are pretty much run by the Freemasons in this, because he does this whole thing with Freemasons.
Yeah, sure. It's such an easy thing to do.
Oh yeah, he does it in a very interesting way though, then it's them, and then it's the Catholic Church being basically running most of Europe, so they all have a stake in it as well. So they keep trying to get the capstone together, and then on the other side of this whole battle is what he ends up affectionately calling
Hey, real quick, what do I do with this thing? Just throw it at him?
Yeah. Just pick up the orbs and throw it at him to get his
That's
shield
great.
down. but yeah, so on the other side of the fight is the coalition of the minnows. These this group of about 10 different countries that team up together. One of them being Australia. To if they cannot stop the ritual on the Pherian, all they need to do is at least grab a single piece of the capstone and keep it away.
Keep them.
And
Sure.
if the world has to suffer and get through it, the world has to suffer and get through it, because it's better than letting America or Europe try and, well, take over the world.
Sure.
So, but then it ends up developing into more of a story later on with these 6 sacred stones, 5 greatest warriors, and down the line he's releasing, I think it's the 2 Lost Mountains or something like that later on in October of this year. And I am very much paraphrasing a lot of it, but it's one of these
Sure.
it's one of these stories that is so interesting to read, because a lot of it is made up history, but there's a lot of it that you'll look at and go, is that real? Because
Yeah,
it
so
puts
that's
so much
to me
fact,
that's
like,
the best kind of history.
Yeah.
I mean, best kind of books for the ones that take real stuff and mix it with just enough fantasy to make it play fun. You know.
yeah, exactly.
You know, Dan Brown, right? The guy that wrote Da Vinci Code
Yeah.
and all that stuff. That's what made him so popular. Was he gave you all this fact, all this real stuff, but he mixed it with enough fiction to where it's sometimes you're like, wait, which one of this is real, and which one of this isn't? And then
Yeah.
you, because you're interested, you actually look it up, and then you learn something, and that's cool. It's really neat.
I can highly recommend that series. It is just absolutely fantastic. It's very well written.
Cool.
It's not a long series as well, so you can get through it pretty easily if that's something that you want to do. But can very highly recommend it if anyone does get the chance to have a look at it.
All right, cool.
Well, that is basically it. We've had a lot of fun. I hope you
I
have
appreciate you
as well.
having me, man.
Did you want to let everybody know where they can find you?
Yeah, sure. Pherianart.com is my online store. You can find some prints if you're interested in that. I'll ship just about anywhere. And then, mostly though, you can just find me at Twitter at Pherianart, and that's pretty much it, man. I don't really spend a ton of time. I have a little Instagram, but I never put anything on it. And same thing with Facebook. I don't use that or touch it. So it's just Twitter, and I'll put stuff online when I get it.
Alrighty, and we might as well. I would assume you have some umbrals that you might want to decrypt.
Yeah, can't hurt. That's for sure.
Yeah, might as well. We'll quickly drop ourselves into the tower. Quickly, I'll be spamming the chat there with your socials and whatnot, which is awesome. Thanks, mate.
He's quite good at that. Spamming, I mean.
Go see Claudia.
Go see Claudia. You lost me on that one, dude.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm getting about half the conversation here.
I don't know what that one is. That one, yeah. Oh, Claudia Black's character is on the tower. Okay.
Is it Tess? Is it Tess? I feel like it might be. I feel like
Let's
it might be
look it up.
Tess, but I mean it could be Hawthorne. It could be Hawthorne. It could be. I mean.
What's her name? Claudia
Lakshmi.
Blacks.
Exactly, which one is Tess? Okay, so who is Claudia Black's character? Let's find out.
She's in Rick and Morty as the ventriloquiver. Destiny, she's Tess.
Ah,
She's
is
Tess.
Tess. Right.
Mhm.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
feeling.
Haven't heard from Fenchurch today.
Ah. Can't wait to finally meet Fenchurch in a
Dude,
cutscene.
I hope that Fenchurch is the biggest craziest character they ever come up with. Just like a complete and total lunatic, you know.
Just
Looks
Ashimir
like
turned up to 11.
yeah, and like crazy style, like weird colors, just the most outlandish thing they've ever created. I really hope they just
Like a mix
throw
between
everything at the wall and see what happens. You know.
him, like a mix between like Ashimir and Richard Branson, just like this gigantic kind of philanthropist, and who just ignores
Yeah.
the hell out of Tess. Just does not even acknowledge her existence. Not
Yeah,
even in a
but with, like-
meme way. Like,
But like, I want the exuberance of like a Steve Irwin, where he's just so excited to see everything all the time. You know,
yeah,
that'd be great, dude.
that would be amazing.
It's amazing to see you. You know, look at all this stuff I found. Or like Billy Mays, you know, you could channel Billy
yeah.
Mays and have him try and sell you everything. That'd be great too.
And then he starts giving out stuff from the store for free, and Tess is like,
Yeah.
"No, don't!"
Tess murders him, hides his body. Like, Tess.
I mean, we haven't seen Fenchurch yet, so I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what she did, but who knows if he's
If
even
it
still
quacks
alive.
like a duck, Tess killed Fenchurch.
If he quacks like a duck, then Tess killed Fenchurch. Oh, I love the way that ended up getting put. Yep. Every time you hear a duck quack, Tess has killed someone.
That's
That's
Angel,
been confirmed
an angel
now.
doesn't get its wings. Tess is just murdering somebody and stealing their stuff.
Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. The angel doesn't get its wings. Tess murdered someone. Oh wow. B Young saying that he's sidekicks Fenchurch.
Yeah, no. It's a side gig.
Oh. I mean, if you could get away with it, then yeah, sure. That'd be nuts. Oh, I'd love to voice a character in Destiny one day. Oh, that'd be the dream.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really fun.
That would be amazing.
I just want to be a guy in like the tower that you're passing by and you just hear him shout something random, like "Where did all my goats go?"
My
And then-
cabbages.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you know, become a meme just like the sweeper bot. You know, just anybody. What's up with that cabbage guy? What, I don't know. It's weird.
I love the fact that they kind of continued his story on in Legend of Korra, but I also love the fact that just Destiny, it's one of those weird games that just really lean into the memes for it.
Yeah,
I
they need
love
to.
that.
I mean, obviously,
Love
that's they absolutely need to. You have to accept the fact that mistakes happen, but you know what? You turn them into positives.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, and it's so much fun to see. Oh, just, oh, it's just nuts. It's nuts to me. Ooh, that was almost perfect in terms of range for this Imperial Decree. Smooth ball, and then needed to have accurized rounds, but not bad.
Yeah, I just threw 3 runes in. I didn't even look at it, so I ended up with some arms, which whatever.
Nice.
All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and leave your fire team.
Yeah, go for it, dude.
I-
It was amazing to have you on. I have sincerely loved it. Definitely can't wait to do this again soon, and I'm hoping we can organise that raid along deal that I'm trying to see if I can organise. But
Oh yeah, that'd be neat.
I have a bunch of different artists in. But yeah, go
Yeah,
check.
keep me informed.
Will do, man. Go check
Absolutely.
Pherian out on all of his stuff. Remember Legion Energy, really good product. Go check that out. I'll be back later on today with some more Ghost of Tsushima, because that is a beautiful game and I'm really enjoying it. But remember, guys, stay safe out there. Try to do at least one thing kind today, and I will catch you all a bit later. Bye.